What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to find your specific and unique and successful woodworking niche or niche, however you say it. Let's dive in. All right, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and I'm so glad that you're here. And this channel exists to help you grow your woodworking business. We're here to help you build the business that's going to power the life and the business that you love, right? And so with that, in today's video, I want to walk you through really a couple questions that you need to ask yourself to find your specific woodworking niche. Listen, half the people in the world say niche, half the people in the world say niche. I say niche, but I want to walk you through 4 big ideas today that's going to help you really find your niche that's going to be successful, right? The whole goal of picking a niche is picking one that's going to lead ultimately to your success. And so the first idea, the first concept that I want to share with you today is don't worry about what is saturated. Okay? This is the number one thing that I would say to so many of you guys. Our industry, the woodworking industry, the custom furniture industry, anything that you're doing with tools, there's a very low barrier of entry. What that means is that anybody can go buy a drill, can go buy a saw, and can call themselves a woodworker. So what that means is that there's probably 500 people on your local Facebook marketplace promoting and selling the thing that you might be considering promoting and selling. Now, the beauty of this is that they all stink at all the things that I'm about to teach you how to become good at. You look at them and you're like, oh man, they're selling that table for $400. There's no way I can compete with that. You don't want to compete with that, right? Oh man, there's 50 different listings here for custom dining tables. There's no way I could build and be successful with custom dining tables. No, you can. I'm going to show you exactly how, because just because it's saturated doesn't mean that you can't absolutely smoke everybody that's there, okay? Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean that they're good at marketing, that they're good at sales, they're good at product, they're good at customer service, and most of these guys are going to be in and out of business in the next 6 months. Okay, so I want to show you how to dominate those guys and how to win in a quote-unquote saturated market. By the way, if you're in the woodworking space, everything you do is going to be saturated unless you're building something super weird, super random that nobody wants to buy, okay? Or that there's a very, very small subsection of the population that you can reach, okay? Number 2, second thing I want to tell you when trying to find your woodworking niche is don't pursue what you enjoy, pursue what is profitable. And now, I know immediately all the purists and all the artsy fartsies out there are going to be like, oh man, that's terrible advice. You should definitely do what you love. I'm not telling you to do something that you hate doing every day, but if you love building birdhouses, but you can't sell birdhouses, then you need to stop building birdhouses. If you're trying to build a business, you need to build what people want, not what you like. This is one of the biggest challenges that everybody faces when they start really pivoting from a hobby to a business, is that they're like, they fell in love with woodworking because it was a hobby, it was a way to relieve their stress, to go out the shop, to tinker around, to get away from their kids and their wife for a little bit. I'm just kidding, you shouldn't do that. But to go relieve some stress, and so they do what they love, they build the things that they're intrigued by, but then you get the idea that you want to make it a business. Well, then there's timelines that are attached to that. There's products that people order that you may or may not love, and it becomes work, right? It becomes work. And so with that, don't pursue just the thing that you like doing. Pursue the thing that you know you can sell, you can market, that people want, okay? That I can't stress that enough. This is how you find a profitable woodworking niche, okay? Number 3, and this is another one that's super, super important, is you need to choose something that appeals to the masses, okay? So let me give you a super random example, okay? Let's say that you're a leather worker. It's going to be better for you to build leather-wrapped chairs than it is for you to specialize in leather bowling ball bags that bowlers take their bowling ball to the bowling alley with, right? That's a very, very, very small subsection, and it doesn't appeal to the masses. However, leather-wrapped furniture or leather-wrapped chairs is going to appeal to a much larger group of people. And so whatever you do, you need to make sure that you choose something that appeals to the masses. And so let me give you some ideas here. Anything that homeowners would want or homeowners would need. There's millions of homeowners in the United States and Canada. You want things that are going to appeal to homeowners. So outdoor, indoor furniture, birdhouses, or you think about planters outside, or anything that you can market to a large group of people. If you go to start trying to figure out how do I sell this, and there's only 30,000 people in the whole United States that would ever be interested in it, that's not a big enough population in general. You want to have a pretty large group of people, millions of people that would be interested in what you have to sell. So choose something that appeals to the masses. Okay, number 4, Again, I keep saying this with each of them, but this is super, super important. And this is how you actually win in a saturated market, and that is to take great photos and video. Everybody that you see on Marketplace or everybody that you see that's trying to compete, they think that they're going to win based on price. Well, they may get a lot of deals, a lot of sales because they're selling on price. But what they're not seeing is that their margins are so thin that they're not making any money. If they have an upset customer, they can't even afford to hardly give them a refund because they have no cash flow inside of their business. And you don't want that. What you want is a profitable business. You want a business that has a lot of cash flow, that you're making a large sum of money for every order that you get. And you do that with how you present your products. You do that by having incredible photos and incredible video content. This is one of the easiest things that you can learn to quickly differentiate yourself from the rest of the market and crush them. And so when it comes to finding your woodworking niche, you need to make sure that you are selling something that appeals to the masses. Quit worrying about what's saturated and what's not. By the way, if it's saturated, it means that there's money to be made there. People are seeing other people make money and they're getting into it, okay? Number 3, don't just pursue what you enjoy, pursue what's profitable. And lastly, make sure you're taking good photos and videos of your stuff. If you can do these things, you can find a niche that's gonna work. The other thing I'll say with this is that you may not immediately find the right niche. You may try one and realize that it's not very profitable. Well then, if that's the case, don't stay there forever. Pivot into something else. Pivot into something else. Pivot into something else until you find the thing that works. You know, I've tried 3 or 4 different businesses that never actually took off, never gained any momentum or any ground, and wasn't really successful. But I found a couple that have been very successful. My woodworking business that specializes on dining tables, benches, and chairs, and then the Woodworking Business Accelerator program where we help custom furniture makers grow and scale their business, okay? So I say that to say, don't get discouraged when you try something and it doesn't work. You have to keep moving forward. You have to keep trying something new. Okay, so with that, we're gonna wrap this video up. I got a couple resources for you. Number 1 is the Handmade Business Secrets ebook. It's totally free to you. Click the first link in the description below and go download that. And it's really my story. It's about 85 to 90 pages long that outlines how I started and scaled my woodworking business and how you can do the same, okay? Go check that out. It's super helpful. Number 2 is the Handmade Hero Academy program. It's the number 1 resource that I can recommend to you if you're a beginner, if you're just really trying to get started, trying to pick a niche, trying to figure out what's gonna work. I actually have a really thorough process in the program to help you find products that are going to be winners, okay? So be sure to check that out. It's a low cost investment. You sell 1 piece of furniture. As a result of what you learn inside that program, it pays for itself, okay? Lastly, number 3 is the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. If you're watching this and you're ready to scale, meaning 10, 15, 20, 40, $50,000 per month in woodworking or furniture sales, then you need to check that out. Click on the link below, fill out the application, book a time with me, let's get on a call, and let's see if we can actually help you get where you're trying to go. So with that, love and appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.